Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. It's the EPRC this evening, 10 o'clock, live here on Forever Sports with me, Roots. A live watch along. It's Montpellier who play home to the Lions, of course. The Lions from South Africa coming fresh off a URC win against the Sharks last weekend. They're looking to get that winning streak well underway. It's been a couple of games, and this stands in their way tonight. It is, of course, the Challenge Cup for the Lions. We saw earlier on the Bulls and the Stormers in the Champions Cup, the Premier Tournament, taking the spoils. The Bulls, of course, 31 points to 17. And then the Stormers coming home, hosting, of course, the Sale Sharks coming away there, 31 points to 24. But we're about 6 minutes away from kickoff, and the Lions are playing away to Montpellier, of course, and it's all to play for here. This, of course, the Challenge Cup this weekend and next weekend, all games live on Forever Sports. I'm going to take you through the 23 of each team, starting with the home side from 1 to 23, of course. And 1, starting for Montpellier, Gregory Fitchen, Werner Kokadze, Lesher Markarashvili, Tyler Duguy, Bastien Chalaru, Nicholas Janse van Rensburg, Clement Domenk, Mal Perrin, Kobus Reinach, of course, the World Cup winner not so long ago in France, Paulo Garbisi at 10, Masavesi Dakuwaka, Jan Serfontein, the forgotten man of South African rugby, but of course, still a lot to prove and to play for moving forward. Jeffrey Damarou, George Bridge, the All Black, Julian Tesseron at 15 for Montpellier. At 16, Brandon Pangamosa, Enzo Folletta, Henry Thomas, Paul Willemse, another South African, who's of course plying his trade with France now on the international level. Quentin Foguet, Louis Fossens-Badet, August Cadeau, and Thomas Damont. That makes up the 23. And of course, from 1 to 23, we all, as South African supporters at least, supporting the Lions this evening. From 1, Morgan Nordier, Jaco Versace, Conrad van Vieren, Etienne Oosthuizen, Darren Lane Landsberg, JC Pretorius, Izan Esterhuizen, Andrew Sergel, Nico Steyn, Jordan Hendrikse at 10, of course. We wait to see what he can do, given the role at number 10. Baldwin Hansen, Reinhard Jonker, Erich Cronier, Stian Pienaar, and Andries Coetzee at 15. 16 to 23 for the Lions, of course. Monet Brandon, Corne Fourie, Ruan Smith, Reinhard Roots, Ruan Stroley, Travis Gordon, Johan Mulder, and at 23, Gianni Lombard. So it's all to play for here this evening. We're at the GGL Stadium in Montpellier, and the Lions, of course, will be looking to get an away victory, but it's all to play for in the EPRC Challenge Cup. The Lions perhaps don't have the budget of your other sides, but nonetheless, they definitely are proving that they are capable of playing themselves well with the big teams. As I mentioned earlier on, we saw them in the last moments last week, the nerve-wracking stuff with that wonderful conversion from the touchline from Sanele Nhamba. A little bit of fortuitousness when Butter Chamberlain missed that penalty kick late on in the 80th minute. But nonetheless, the Lions showing that it's not all money. They can put something when everybody stands together. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in for this clash. We are in France, Montpellier, of course, at home. The Lions will look to go top of the table should they win this game. And that, of course, will be a wonderful thing for South African supporters. We know tomorrow, of course, I'll be live for the Cheetahs game. They'll be hosting PAU, PAU, if you want to call it that, to make it a clean sweep for South African teams in the Champions Cup and Challenge Cup, respectively. But as I look at the conditions, nonetheless, It looks pretty much ripe for running rugby this evening. But there are a number of South Africans, as we mentioned, the likes of Nicholas Janse van Rensburg for Montpellier, Jan Serfontein, of course, the Springbok, if you want to call him, the forgotten Springbok. I'm sure he would want to prove a lot in this competition. The Lions looking to put themselves in a position to go top of the table. So it's all to play for here. We're live, of course, for every single game here on Forever Sports. And we thank every single one of you subscribers and anyone tuning in. If you know of anybody who loves the game of rugby, to just share the link with everyone and we can all rugby together. Please do share in the comment section from where in the world you are tuned in, whether it's in South Africa, wherever in the world. That's the wonderful thing about us being able to stream on YouTube. You can tune in all over the world and get a glimpse of rugby from myself as I'll take you through live. The Lions, perhaps not the most fortuitous team in terms of their budget, as I mentioned, but what they're able to do with the players that they have, there's something brewing at the Emirates Lions at the moment because they're on somewhat of a winning streak, taking the Sharks to task last weekend, albeit they are away from home this evening. It's going to be an exciting clash, and I'm excited nonetheless to kick off 2024 from my side here on Forever Sports and take you through this game. It is 10 o'clock South African Standard Time. So if you are up in South Africa, it means you do love the game of rugby. And I just want to say thank you from myself for tuning in here on Forever Sports. Kickoff is almost underway. We're about 2 minutes away as I see the sides coming out onto the field. It's not going to be an easy task. Montpellier, of course, in years gone by, being coached by the great Jake White, the Springbok World Cup winning coach. So they've got a rich rugby history over there in France as well. The crowd are out in support for the home side. So the Lions are up against it. But as I mentioned, it's worth mentioning again, they went to Durban, should I say, and they took the Sharks on and beat them with that wonderful conversion in the last moments from Sanele Nahamba after a driving maul try to seal it and beat the Sharks by 20 points to 18. Shout out to Albert van Lingen. Welcome, my brother. Thank you for tuning in. It is much appreciated. We're seconds away here at the GGL Stadium. The Lions in their all-white strip will be playing from left to right. And underway is Jordan Hendrickse, who gets us deep into the Montpellier 22. And immediately, Montpellier return the favor. And it's Andrix Kutsia, the fullback, who comes charging over the halfway line. And we're now playing from left to right, up into the half of Montpellier go the Lions, up to the 10-meter mark. Nico Steyn at the base. He'll be looking to link up with Hendrickse here tonight to unlock this back line. It's a young Lions side, as I mentioned, with not the budget of your other teams, perhaps, but playing out of their skins nonetheless, and just unfortunately losing the ball in contact there. Montpellier looking to come away with it, but it will be a scrum down. So early on, it's a scrum down to the Lions, says the referee. And this is the engine room that we all look to early on, should I say. South African team showing early on in the Champions Cup. The Bulls, especially against the Bristol Bears. Gaining ascendancy scrum time, winning 6-7 scrum penalties, putting the opposition under pressure. So it is what they say is in the air. South Africa have the power and the brawn up front. And Nico Steyn looks to feed here. At the moment, it's a reset. We're just behind the halfway, about 16 meters in from this right-hand touchline inside the Lions' half. the Lions to feed this scrum. Challenge Cup rugby is well underway, and the Lions, of course, it's quite difficult, in my opinion, to manage the URC as well as the Challenge Cup, but the Lions playing out of their skin with the squad that they have. So definitely playing for each other. The first scrum, of course, will set the tone. There was a first reset. And at the moment, the referee doesn't have time for another reset. He says it's an infringement, and Montpellier immediately get a penalty at scrum time. And it's going to be Gobisi who will look to put it into touch on this right-hand touchline. Deep into the Lions 22, which he does successfully. We're just about on the 22, folks. Greetings, Richard from Namakwaland. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Montpellier feed the line out now on the 22. And immediately it's a middle ball, straight for a maul. Powerhouse play here from Montpellier early on. The Lions in 6s and 7s. It's easy meters for Montpellier at the moment. Driving up to the line. And away come the Lions, somehow miraculously, with the ball, saving the situation there. I think it was the 8th man, Andre Sergil, seeing they were under pressure, going in, attacking the ball, taking the initiative. The referee's there. It's legal, should I say. And the Lions, for the moment, breathe a sigh of relief. The ball was cleared into touch, so nothing comes of it for Montpellier there. But they do have another feed to the line out on this right-hand touchline, working their way up to the 22. Kobus Reinach to Gobisi. They're playing from right to left now. Center field and another penalty. So 2 early penalties against the Lions. They don't want that to rack up against them. The opposition have the opportunity now for the 3 points, and immediately that's exactly what they point for. And Paulo Godbisi will have the opportunity to put Montpellier 3 points up. So discipline obviously key in this game, but it's an opportunity for Paulo Godbisi nonetheless. The home crowd will like it. Bonus points, of course, will come into factor in terms of the log standings, but you want to first get the win. You can't get carried away. So getting points on the board will be important here. Gobisi aims for the posts, but it sails down this right hand upright. Not successful there, so a sigh of relief again for the Lions. And as a South African supporter, you can't help but be grateful for that miss, as Jordan Hendrickse will take it and kick it out from the 22, folks. Early opportunity for Montpellier there to go up, but it's missed. The score still at 0-0. And Montpellier now, after that 22 dropout, work their way just inside the Lions' half, playing towards this right-hand touchline, 15 meters in. It's Reinach looking for a loose forward there, met with solid defense from the Lions. The double World Cup winner, Kobus Reinach, of course, plying his trade in France. We know he's got the pace. We know he's got the distribution, and showing us immediately that he's keen to get his players and link up with them as he finds Paulo Godbisi, who puts it up and under, up. But safe hands there from Hendrickse, and the Lions now do get possession back. And for the first time early on, will have an opportunity with ball in hand to exit their own half. Steyn is at the base, the forwards, making it a little bit easier for him as he shapes to kick. The chase is good from the Lions, but another well-taken effort there from the opposite fly-off in Paulo Gobisi. So just handing away possession there, the Lions. And Montpellier back in possession, still at 0-0. Ball out the back. Here's some space out on this left-hand side. Shut down quickly there, but it's Reinach again, quick off the mark. They're going to have to look after him all night, I'm sure. The referee says leave it there. There's a tight contest. It's a counter-ruck from the Lions. Yes, the referee says it's okay. There's no one at the back. But coming around in cover defense there was Tisserand for Montpellier, and he puts the ball into touch on this left-hand touchline. Defense into attack there early on from the Lions. JC Pretorius, of course, known for his trade in the sevens game, playing at number 6 here, all in there at that ruck time, turning the ball over and giving the Lions the opportunity now with the line out just inside Montpellier's half, about 5 meters in Montpellier's half on this left-hand touchline. It's Jaco Varsity to feed. Clean ball. Nico Steyn to Hendrickse. The Lions playing quickly. That's what they want to do. Always got that attacking brand of rugby going. Almost tight up against this right-hand touchline now. The Lions still in possession. Phase number 3 from that line out. Morgan Odier, the loose head prop, asked to take the ball up. Is on Esterhazen. You want quick ball at ruck time in the Lions. Just for the moment. Losing possession. The ball is a bit loose now. You've got to protect the ball, and for the moment, the Lions unable to do so. And in the process, giving Montpellier the opportunity to hoof the ball ahead. It finds grass inside the field of play and rolls into touch there. Gokatse. Vano Gokatse there, heavily involved, the hooker for Montpellier. Definitely showing that he's up for it. And just the bounce of the ball finding its way just outside the 22 here on this right-hand touchline, with the Lions to feed via Jaco Varsity. Not such clean ball there, but they do manage to win the scrap, the Lions. Still in possession, but inside their 22, looking for an exit, I'm sure. Via Nico Steyn, perhaps, to Jordan Hendrickse. Is it a shape to kick here? The score still at 0-0. Nico Steyn at the base, inside his 22, doesn't find touch. And here come Montpellier. Can they unlock their back line? We know Jan Serfontein, should I say, has the ability to gain some meters over the advantage line. But for the moment, playing a little bit laterally. Gogatse, the hooker, with some clever hands. The ball is shifted out to Domenk, the number 7. We're almost on this right-hand touchline. And Reinach, quick at the base, of course. All the experience in the world, the World Cup winner, double World Cup winner, of course. Knows how to score hat-tricks in World Cups. He's going to want to translate that experience this evening for Montpellier here at home against the Lions. South Africa, obviously known for their physical play, and he's well aware of that. But Montpellier take it up centre field. It's loose for the moment. And the Lions playing under scrum advantage here. It was lost forward in contact. So some big hits coming in as I'm seeing here. Hendrickse from Steyn hoofs it up ahead, and it's a wonderful clearance. But nonetheless, Montpellier play quickly down this left-hand touchline, trying to catch the Lions off guard. Just outside the 22, it's all happening. And as I say that, the referee blows advantage. So it's just about a free play here. As Gregory Fitchen tries to hold it up for Montpellier. A massive hit there from one of the Lions defenders, but nonetheless, no advantage, says the referee. Not releasing the tackled player, trying to play the ball early, or not rolling away, should I say. But some big hits. We see that both teams are out to play this evening. And for the moment, is it another opportunity here for Gabisi? No, he says he's going to put it in to the corner. They're 5 meters out on this left-hand touchline. And Montpellier have made a statement here. You come to see there's not always a contest from the Lions. They're looking to defend the maul, and maul it is from Montpellier. They were successful early on until that interception from one of the Lions players who spoilt it. But on this occasion, another penalty, says the referee. So the mauling attempts from Montpellier looking dangerous for the moment. And the penalties against the Lions just seem to be racking up. That's 4 now in the first 14 minutes here at the GGL Stadium. Shout out to Richard, my brother. Where are you tuning in from? Thank you for this opportunity for me to host you guys. Thank you for staying up. If you're in South Africa, Richard, are you a Lions supporter? If there are any Lions supporters, what's your score prediction as we see another maul? The ball put into the corner, and immediately Kobus Reinach looking to break away. There's 3 Lions players over him trying to hold him up. They're over the line. They're over the line. But the referee says held up. No try there. Kobus Reinach looking to put his name on the try sheet. But almost a swarm of Lions players coming there, making sure that he couldn't ground the ball. Wonderful effort on defense there. That's a goal line dropout, of course, according to the rules. Jordan Hendrickse kicks it deep up to halfway, but here come Montpellier over the 10-meter mark, and Reinach is there immediately. And another penalty, says the referee. So discipline early on, an issue for the Lions. They're going to have to want to fix that. I'm sure the coaches will give them an indication at half time. You can't be conceding too many penalties. That's 5 already. We've only had 16 minutes. You want to imagine your penalty count, if you're disciplined enough, to just be about 8-9 for the game total. So the Lions not doing themselves any favors. Richard says, I live on the Kamiesberg in Namaqualand. I'm a Bull supporter. Blow Bull Boer, of course, Richard. But follow all SA teams when I can, and our teams have made us proud so far. I couldn't agree more with you there, my brother. Gabisi again with the kick at posts from the penalty, and is unsuccessful. So the Lions seemed to be having his boot on remote control for the moment, directing his kick wide. Paulo Gabisi, you can see he's frustrated with himself. So 6 points gone a begging there for Montpellier so far. But as I mentioned, as a South African supporter, we'll take that. But taking it to the line now is the 8th man of Montpellier, Mael Perrin, as they build into the Lions half again, up to the 10-meter mark, playing from right to left. Inside Lions territory, it's quick ball here. Out the back, Reinach. They're looking to spread it wide via the back line, but again, the tackle there from Stian Pienaar is solid. Almost an interception. You don't want to rush out the line too quickly there. Because one of the Lions players trying to get hold of the ball. But for the moment, Montpellier still hold on to possession. And an unforced error, it must be said, from the base, Kobus Reinach, kicking it straight into touch, over the top, shaping to kick. But it almost looked like nothing was on there. They ran out of ideas. This Lions defense, for the moment, holding up firm here in France. It's never easy when you're playing away from home. But of course, as I mentioned, the Lions are on somewhat of a winning streak. So if you're a Lions supporter, well done, guys. And if you're a South African rugby supporter, of course, we're happy for the Lions. No matter if you support the Stormers or the Sharks, the Cheetahs or the Bulls, you're happy if the Lions are playing a French team or an English team, an Irish team, if they can get one over them. We're all excited, I'm sure, nonetheless. Please do give your score predictions, if you can, in the comment section. Who do you think is going to take this one? For the moment, the score is still at 0-0 as we approach the end of the first quarter of this game. Time off for the moment. Nothing on the scoreboard, but it's all happening in terms of defense. And it must be said, for the Lions, unfortunately, discipline. Somewhat of an issue at the moment, but they do have the feed to the line out here on their own 10-meter mark. It's clean ball from Jaco Fasahi. The Lions work themselves towards centre field, still in possession. Montpellier looking to disrupt, and they have. It's turnover ball. Looking to play down this right-hand side, the blind side, Montpellier. The Lions not committing too much at ruck time. But the defense has been firm from the Lions. And again, the ball ripped free. You see, or it seems for all intents and purposes, it's a tactic from the Lions to get one tackled player in there and one ripping the ball away. And they've done a very, very good job at that so far. But nothing comes of that play there for the moment. Still at 0-0. Much of this game seems to be played between each 22-meter mark. The Lions, of course, haven't spent much time, should I say. So it's almost as if this game has been between the halfway and the Lions 22. So territory not in the Lions' favour, and again, an opportunity for Montpellier. The referee adjudges. The man was played in the air. We're on the 22-meter mark here on this right-hand touchline by Gogadze. And if you're doing well at the maul, why not continue to do so? And that's exactly what they do. This time around, the Lions in there to spoil, and spoil is what they do. Lions, the Lions, the Emirates Lions, as they are affectionately known, will have the put into the scrum, disrupting that maul. Montpellier not able to do anything from that penalty advantage. But the Lions desperate to play rugby down in the half of Montpellier, I'm sure. We're still at 0-0. Albert says Montpellier has an advantage in the rucks. So if Lions manage a win, it will be very close, like 21-22. I'm feeling you on that one, Albert. It's looking like a tight game. The conditions underfoot look pretty good, but we've seen the ball spill out once or twice on both sides. So ball retention is going to be important nonetheless, as we see Jaco Versace getting some attention for the moment. A lot of discussion going on the side of Montpellier and the coaching staff. They're going to have to pull this one tight out of the fire on either side. You don't imagine it's going to be a runaway victory. But do share, guys, from where you're watching in the world or in South Africa. As I mentioned, time off for the moment, but it's been a lot of action up to now. Some big hits. But it must be said the Lions will be looking to do more on attack as this game progresses. If they want any opportunity to win, they don't want to play the game inside their own 22, as Nico Steyn looks to feed. It's a solid scrum from both teams. And it's a solid feed to Jordan Hendrickse, who puts it deep inside the Montpellier half. And this is an opportunity now, although the Lions do not have possession, to put some pressure on Montpellier, force the mistake, and then have the opportunity to make their own play. So we just off inside the 10-meter mark of Montpellier's territory on this right-hand touchline. And Gogadze will feed. Will we see a contest here from the Lions? This time around, it's over the top ball for Montpellier. Will they play from deep? They're almost up to their 10-meter mark. Or in fact, they're over the 10-meter mark as Reinach looks to find Gobisi, who puts an up and under high. The contest is good. Is there an opportunity here? Andries Kutsia comes, but it's regathered and Montpellier can play again. Tough defense from the Lions there, forces the turnover, I'm sure. They will have possession now. We'll wait to see what the referee says. We're coming back for a high shot, says the referee. Must have got a call from the assistant referee on this left-hand touchline. Jaco Versace just looking for clarification from the referee. But it's still scoreless here. And it was Andries Kutsia as he contested for the ball, just taking one of the Montpellier players around the neck. And Gobisi puts them up to the 22 now. Again, the Lions have to defend in what you would call the danger zone. All this defending can take its toll on the Lions, but for the moment they've disrupted any attacking prowess from Montpellier. It's front ball, but they set up the maul again. Got Gutze at the back. The Lions have to come around and defend it. They can't come in from the side. Is there an opportunity to disrupt? Yes, there is. The referee's right on the spot. He's the man with the whistle. A disheveled look on the coach's face of Montpellier. But they can't seem to get anything going. The Lions showing the heart of Johannesburg at the moment here in France. Incredible stuff. You got to celebrate the small victories, but you also want to get on the other side of the field. Whether it's a drop goal, penalty goal, or you put the ball over the chalk, you got to get points on the board and not leave it up to the latter stages of this game. And for the moment, at 0-0, it's tight going here in Montpellier, in the heart of France. The Lions defending for their lives inside their 22. And for the first time, they get a break at scrum time. Penalty, says the referee. An infringement. Straight down on this near side, on this left-hand side, the loose head of Montpellier, Gregory Fitchen. And the Lions have an opportunity to put the ball into touch. Just about on the 10-meter mark. On this left-hand touchline. And more importantly, they are in possession. So precious few opportunities for the Lions up to this point. 26 minutes into this game. But now they have a real opportunity to make something happen on attack. And just as I say that, it's a loose ball. Almost a trick play there from Jaco Versaghi, wanting to secure an easy line out. But the ball popping out, so it looks like the ball, under the conditions, not savoury for the players at the moment. Montpellier in possession via Kobus Reinach, who shapes to kick inside his own half. The contest is good. But the catch and return from Stian Pienaar is even better. The Lions back in possession, looking to work their way up to the 10-meter mark. It's JC Pretorius wrestling his way to the ground. They must release the tackled player. And Nico Steyn will shape to kick from the base here. Tied up against this left-hand touchline. On his left foot. Gobisi loses it forward. Is there a break on here for the Lions? The referee was playing under advantage. The Lions couldn't hold on to the ball. So it's all slippery stuff here in France for the moment. A lot of pressure there on Paolo Gobisi, the fly-off of Montpellier. The Lions looking to shift the ball and play their advantage. Just couldn't do much. But they still have an opportunity just inside the Montpellier half on this 15-meter mark. From this left-hand touchline, they will pack down for a scrum with the Lions to feed via Nico Steyn. Tough going here in France at 0-0. We're almost up to the halfway mark, half-hour mark, should I say. The referee on the spot. It's clean ball for the Lions. Jordan Hendrickse feeds Reinhard Jonker. They center field now, almost working their way towards the 10-meter mark. But as I say that, it's an interception there from the left winger. Masavesi Dakuwaka looking to break away. But nothing comes of it. The Lions have a penalty. It's an infringement from that interception. It must be said, the Lions all over Montpellier on defense. But you're going to want to do something with the ball in hand, I'm sure. And now another opportunity for the Lions. Precious territory. Inside the Montpellier half on this right-hand touchline. Cold conditions in France. You can see the mist hanging over them at scrum time. It's not easy. to play the game we love in these sort of conditions. The Lions showing heart away from home here, and this time they decide to go for a maul. Surely the Montpellier players are swimming around. And here come the Lions. Here's an opportunity. Baldwin Hansen getting the ball from Steyn. The Lions over the 10-meter mark inside Montpellier's territory now. Out the back. The Lions looking to play some attacking rugby, and for the first time, they have advantage in their favour. Is there an opportunity, should nothing come of this, for Hendrickse to put 3 points over for the Lions? Steyn. It's a breakaway here for the Lions. Here's an opportunity. They're only a couple of meters out. The referee says, it doesn't matter if nothing came of that. We're going back for the penalty. And is this the 3 points for the Lions? One of the tacklers not rolling away. It will be interesting to see what the captain does here. Does he give the ball to Jordan Hendrickse to put over potential 3 points? But some wonderful play there from the Lions, working their way up almost 10 meters out from Montpellier's try line. It was a wonderful little offload from Nico Steyn. He was there in support again, just couldn't hold on to it. And in fact, it is going to be an attempt from Jordan Hendrickse about 40 meters out. We know he's capable. His eyes tell us he's focused as he shapes for the kick, pretty much down the center. Jordan Hendrickse sailing and over. That's the 3 points on the board for the Lions, the first 3 points of this game. And you can see a wry look of confidence on his face as soon as he struck it. Montpellier go all the way to the halfway mark, and they have to kick off, conceding those 3 points. Is that the confidence the Lions needed? Not playing much of the game in Montpellier's half in this first half. But the moment they got an opportunity to score points, they did so. Much cannot be said the same for Montpellier, missing, of course, 2 penalties via Paulo Gobisi. The Lions aimlessly somewhat kicking the ball away there, gifting Montpellier possession up inside the Lions. 10-meter mark now, halfway, and again, the ball we can see is as slippery as ever. And the Lions will have a feed to the scrum. But first points via Jordan Hendrickse's boot gives the Lions the opportunity, should I say, to take the lead in this game. And from that knock-on, whilst Montpellier were in possession, the Lions will have a feed. Come on, Lions, you've got this. Just stay focused. We can win it in threes. We know we all want to see some attacking, running rugby. But at times, the conditions don't always allow that. Just inside the Lions' half, as we set the scrum, the Lions to feed via Nico Steyn. Penalty again, says the referee, so somewhat gaining ascendancy at scrum time, the Lions. The referee right on the spot. In these cold, dark conditions here in France, the Lions holding up their own weight here away from home, putting the ball out, almost up or up to the 22 of Montpellier on this left-hand touchline. So another the first real attacking opportunity, 22 meters out from Montpellier's try line. Can they force another penalty and just rack up the scoreboard? The Lions. You've got to win the line out first, and Jaco Varsity is the man to feed this ball. Front ball it is, secure as ever for the Lions. For the moment, Montpellier holding up their own. But there's some forward momentum. They've got to use it, or the referee is going to blow them. The Lions managing somehow to win that scrap and not get the ball to be turned over. They've got possession. Now they need to play the Lions from left to right. Looking for a little bit of magic. Breaking one tackle there. One of the attacking players of the Lions. Staying at the base. It's slippery stuff here in France, but the Lions looking to hold on to possession. Playing the blind now, Nico Steyn. The defense from Montpellier, stout as ever. Steyn to Varsity. The hooker, keeping it tight for the moment. Can they suck in the defenders here of Montpellier? With a narrow lead, the Lions by 3-0. Steyn with the chip over the top. Great covering there from Julien Tisserand for Montpellier. So nothing comes of that for the moment. Been a tight first half here. Montpellier now, for the last couple of minutes, having to defend inside their own half. No real attacking opportunity. The ball is quite slippery, so you can understand why they're keeping it tight. As Albert says, can't believe how intense this game is. It's very intense for the moment, brother. 3-0. The away side, the Emirates Lions, with that narrow lead via Jordan Hendricks' boot. They come away with it now. Is there space for Nico Steyn down this right-hand touchline, looking to play blind, working their way up to the 22, but as I say that, infringing at ruck time. And it's a battle of ping-pong for the moment, albeit a rugby game. There's an ebb and flow of both sides putting in the work, gaining ascendancy, gaining territory, but at precious moments, losing focus and conceding a penalty. Paulo Gabisi will not be happy with himself up to now, missing those two penalties, which must be said were not easy as right in front of the sticks, but definitely within range. You don't want that, if you're a Montpellier fan, to come back and bite you. But for the moment, Montpellier via Jan Serfontein juggling the ball midfield, almost up to the 22. Almost looked like a fumble there. Yes, it was. One of the Montpellier players looking to pick it up from the base, almost in two minds, knocked it on. And another scrum inside the Lions half. How many have we seen in this first half? So we've seen quick ball from the base via Kobus Reinach. But just when the ball is shifted out wide, some indecision, it must be said. For Montpellier, I think it was Nicholas Janse van Rensburg, caught in two minds to pick it up or go over and seal that ball. And that indecision has cost them for the moment. Montpellier trail by 3 points. You see Paul Willemse, the substitute, marching up and down the touchline. Definitely doesn't look satisfied. He might want to get out there as soon as possible in the second half as we work our way towards half time. The Lions can be proud of themselves with the precious possession that the few little possessions, should I say, that they've had. Defending for their lives. They've had to defend quite a few mauls as well on their own try line. And it's just about half time now. It'll be interesting to see what the Lions do via Steyn to Hendrickse. He says, we've had enough for this first half. It's half time here at the GGL Stadium, Montpellier Trail. The Emirates Lions by 0 points to 3. Do join us for the second half. Get your refreshments. But for now, we're taking a break. We'll see you in a little bit. Hello and welcome back to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. We witnessed the first half that had its thrills and spills, if you could call it that. Not much in terms of tries, but in terms of defense, in terms of toughness, in terms of grit, it is most certainly been a half that's been quite intense. As we see immediately, Montpellier have decided to put on Paul Willemse. They'll be playing from left to right. And the Lions lead by 3 points to 0. With Corbisi kicking off from left to right. We're just about underway in the second half. Can the Lions take it home and send the South African supporters with a good night's sleep, knowing that it's just the Cheetahs tomorrow to give us a clean sweep for this weekend's Challenge Cup and Champions Cup, respectively? As Corbisi kicks off, the Lions send it deep from their own 22. It's an up and under. And we're inside the half here of the Lions on their 10-meter mark. Montpellier in possession. As Willemse, their substitute, takes it up almost up to the 22 now. Fighting, wrestling with the Lions defenders there. Willemse again, taking the ball up between phases. So he's busy as ever for Montpellier coming off the bench. He's seen enough, he says, as Montpellier work it up to centre field. It's Paul Willemse again, the French international, albeit he's South African. There's an opportunity out wide here now. Can they do it? Montpellier, 1 meter short. The referee is there. He says they've been held up. And the Lions showing their grit on defense. But an immediate injection off the bench from Paul Willemse. Gave Montpellier the platform to attack from, and just on the last hurdle on the try line, held up there. The Lions, desperate in defense, will get a goal line dropout here. The referee right on the spot there. Via Jordan Hendrickse. Montpellier centre field, playing from right to left. Kobus Reinach to Willemse again. You can see he's definitely going to be the man to take the ball up. In contact, getting over the gain line. Reinach looking for support, linking up with Corbisi. Trying to find space between two players there, up to the 22 now. Montpellier coming out with intent. It must have been some harsh words from the coach there, who was up and down the field at halftime, or in the first half, should I say, gathering his thoughts, and they're 5 meters out now. Montpellier still in possession. The Lions desperate not to run out of defenders. Reinach, it's all quick ball at the moment. You can't fight quick ball. And immediately an infringement there. And it's Kobus Reinach who takes it quickly. Speed off the mark. Here it is. There it is. Montpellier have the try. The first break in the second half. We're only 3 minutes in. Jeffrey Domaru for Montpellier there. After the initial break from Kobus Reinach, looking to tap and go quickly, catching the defenders off guard. Held him up for a moment, but the ball was recycled quickly enough. So wonderful initiative there from the double World Cup winner. Not so bright for the Lions as they trail in this game, conceding the first try of the match. And it's Jeffrey Domergue who scores on this left-hand side. The conversion right up against this left-hand touchline will not be easy for Gobisi. 0 out of 2 this evening. Shapes to kick. And he's missed another one. It's 0 out of 3. The score remains 5, Montpellier 3 to the Lions. But early attacking intent, and it must be said, Paul Willemse involved again there. Quick feed from the base, from the replacement lock. The South African French international feeding Jeffrey Domergue. And not such bright signs for the Lions there, conceding a try early in the second half. But it's 5-3 at the GGL Stadium as Jordan Hendrickse kicks it into the 22, 15 meters from this right-hand touchline. Reinach feeds a ball. A little chip over the top. Montpellier definitely looking to play now. Counter ruck is good from Montpellier. Can the Lions secure possession here inside their own 22 via Nico Steyn? What's your score prediction, guys? Do you think this game is going to open up? Are the players going to take it upon themselves to really set this game alight? And if you think so, which side will it be? Will it be the home side, Montpellier, or will it be the Lions? Can they pull this one home? The pride of Johannesburg, the pride of South Africa this evening. As I said, no matter which team you support at heart, you're a South African supporter here tonight against this French side, Montpellier, with a proud rugby history, of course. Couple of South Africans within their ranks as the ball is fed from the line out. We're just about on halfway centre field. The left winger of Montpellier looking to take it up, Masavesi Dakuwaka. Sets up another ruck as he's brought to ground. And it's quick ball now from Montpellier. Enzo Folletta, the replacement. Prop looking to make some meters, but he's brought to ground. All this defending might definitely tire on the Lions, in my opinion. So they're going to want to have to play with ball in hand. Positive action, not just reactive rugby, as I say. But for the moment, Reinach with quick ball to Gobisi. There's space out on this left-hand side. Dakuwaka again brought to ground. Looking to bring him more into the game, the left winger. And they're inside the 22 now. The Lions, with all that defending in the first half, has it worn on them somewhat? Willemse again involved as Clement Domingue breaks away. Gaining too many easy meters here. Reinach feeds it tight forward. They're playing from left to right. Serfontein looking to bust his way through. We know what he can do, and at the moment, it's just lost forward there from Reinach. But playing under advantage, Montpellier. And now with the real opportunity, surely Gobisi can put this one over. It's only about 20, 15 meters out, just off center. Do they go for the 3 points? He's been unsuccessful with 3 kicks this evening, 3 out of 3. I said 15 meters. This is only about 10 meters. So just about in front of the sticks. To give him a bit of confidence, Gobisi says, give me the T and I'll give you the 3 for Montpellier as he shapes to kick. Doesn't take much time. Puts it over, and Montpellier do get the 3 points. A wry smile, he knows. He's been under pressure in terms of his kicking to post this evening, Paulo Gobisi. But this time around, makes no mistake. As we see some replacements for the Lions, Ruan Smith on. The replacement prop. So the attrition rate very high here in France for the Lions and for Montpellier. Which bench can make the biggest impact? That's exactly what it is. We don't talk about it as the best 15, the best 23, because the 8 players on the bench are just as good. They just need to make an impact. And which team can implement that better this evening? For the moment, Montpellier hold on to an 8-3 lead over the Lions. Of course, as we mentioned, the Lions on somewhat of a winning streak at the moment. And as we know, winning can most certainly become a habit. And for the Lions, looking down the end of a guy like Kobus Reinach, they know that he has the opportunity and the experience and the rugby IQ to put this game into perspective for Montpellier. So they're going to have to take it into their own hands as they feed this line-out ball just outside the 22 to Stian Pinot on this right-hand touchline. The Lions working their way up, not having much opportunity on attack. They're going to have to keep the ball in hand, and the referee says, holding on. Someone was legally over the ball there for Montpellier. So just as I mentioned that, you're going to want to keep the ball in hand, build the phases, suck in the defense, and get someone out wide, perhaps with some magic to finish. But you can't just think about the finish. You've got to do the hard yards. And the Lions there for the moment, not securing the ball. Turnover, Montpellier put the ball into touch just over halfway on this right-hand touchline. And it will be their feed to the line-out. We're on halfway, in fact. There was an early line-out throw there, but the referee just calling them back. The Lions trail by 5. The conditions haven't been easy with ball retention. But they're going to have to fight this way through. The Lions. And for the moment, contesting in the line-out. The ball pops loose. It's gone forward. The referee says, scrum down to the Lions on halfway. 15 meters in from this right-hand touchline, guys. Nico staying to feed for the Lions. As we build up towards the last quarter, the Lions are going to have to put themselves in a position to score some points. And here they go now as they shift the ball wide. It's a long floated ball. Out to Baldwin Hansen. The ball floated a bit too much. Gave the opportunity to the defense to shift wide. So the Lions not making much meters, but they are inside Montpellier's half. And it's a loose ball now. It's got BC who feeds one of his players. It's lost forward. The Lions playing under advantage. So it almost cost them there for the moment, the Emirates Lions. Perhaps forcing that last pass. Got BC pouncing on it, the fly half. Maybe he's got a bit of confidence after getting his first kick over. Big hit there, massive hit on Kobus Reinach. The Lions getting the ball back, but into touch, they were shepherded. So it will be a scrum, no advantage. The Lions, that error not costing them anything for the moment, but again, another scrum inside their own half. The referee has not had much patience come scrum time, but the Lions and Montpellier have been on the lucky end of his whistle. But as I mentioned, conditions underfoot seem to be okay, but most certainly cold and slippery when it comes to holding on to the ball for both sides. The Lions with possession via Nico Steyn on the 15-meter mark, just inside their own 10-meter mark in their own half. Steyn gets a clean ball to Hendrickse. Is there an opportunity here now? The ball is loose. Little grubber ahead, but Montpellier gather, and it's Reinach again at the base. Present as ever. The double World Cup winner. Just asking his forwards to give him some more space to shape for the kick. And for the moment, it's up in the air. It's advantage to Montpellier. The Lions couldn't hold on to the high ball. Nothing comes of it. And Montpellier will have the feed to the scrum from that box kick from Kobus Reinach. All a little bit stop-start now at the moment after that fast injection from Paul Willemse, it must be said, the substitute, which gave the Montpellier players a lot of confidence as the second half started. But for the moment, the scoreline stays at 8-3. And we're on this left-hand touchline about 10 meters in from this left-hand touchline, almost on the 10-meter mark of Lions territory. I don't foresee this to be a high-scoring game, but I'll be interested to know what your updated score is for this game, your prediction. Please do give it in the comments. And if you've just tuned in, tell me from where it is, in fact, in the world you are watching. And give a shout out if you're a Lions supporter. For the moment, it's not all good. The Lions trail. Kobus Reinach feeds quickly. They've worked their way up over the 10-meter mark, and they're trying to find their way into the Lions 22 as they work this right-hand blind side. Reinach to Gobisi. The referee says he's been tackled. You've got to release the tackle player. Good distribution from the base from Kobus Reinach. Not good if you're a Lions or South African supporter. And up to the 22. Go Montpellier now with the tight forwards. Reinach to Henry Thomas. Again down this blind side they go. Looking to suck in the defenders. Reinach to Willemse. He's made some post-contact meters as the ball comes out the back. There's an opportunity here. Trying to shift it. Serfontein to Takawaka. He's a hard man to bring down. They're only 8 meters out now. Playing towards centre field. Willemse again. heavily involved in the second half as they shifted towards this right-hand touchline. They're 5 meters out now. Can they secure the ball? The Lions, desperate in defense here. What does the referee say? It's knocked on. The relief again for the Lions. They most certainly don't want to be playing the game here. As we approach this last quarter now, this is where it gets interesting. There was an overlap opportunity there for Montpellier down this left-hand touchline, but they just couldn't get the ball to hand. Desperate on defense. As we see the introduction of Gianni Lombard, can he inject some magic into this game? They're going to have to create something, perhaps from nothing, the Lions. Deep inside their own half now with Nico Steyn to feed the scrum. They're 5 meters out from the touchline. They're 5 meters out from the try line on this right-hand side. So almost into this right-hand corner, the Lions will have to exit and then give possession back to Montpellier. As we hit this last quarter now, it's all to do for the Lions. They're only a score behind, so a lot can change. The pendulum can swing, but they're going to have to be on the other side of the field. Tough going here in France for the Lions. You can't help but wonder how much that Sharks game took out of them. Obviously, a lot of changes have been made. But traveling to France for this Challenge Cup game, a lot can happen in 20-odd minutes. So it's not all doom and gloom if you're a South African or Lions supporter. But as I said, you want to be playing on the other end of the field. And where they are at the moment, it all seems, all money, should I say, that they want to exit here. The Lions do get a clean ball and an opportunity with a better angle for Nico Steyn to shape with the kick. Or he looks for Lombard. Who kicks it downfield, but here come Montpellier now. It's open space. It's the fullback, Julien Tisserand, looking to stretch his legs. And here comes Willemse again. His carries has almost been in the double figures, if not. Paulo Gabisi with the ball over the top. Last pass on this right-hand side. Just doesn't go to hand there for Nicholas Janse van Rensburg, the South African. A little ball over the top. Just couldn't find Nicholas Janse van Rensburg hands. But it was the fullback showing the intent, Julien Tisserand of Montpellier. They have really been full of life in the second half, albeit this is a low-scoring game. The Lions are going to have to turn on the afterburners themselves. They can't be in this defensive lull for too much longer. Jaco Fasahi to feed the line out. It's a lost line out, but thankfully for the Lions, the ball is knocked on there. What I'm getting the sense of is the Lions are coming in with the hard hits, making the massive tackles. And it does look good, but you've got to stay focused on the game plan. So no judgment from my side. I just think They want to open it up a bit more on attack when they have ball in hand. So the defense sound, of course. It's important to make those big hits, intimidate the opposition, but you don't want to get carried away with defending the whole evening. The Lions just outside their 22 on this 15-meter mark. On this right-hand touchline, with the feet to the scrum via Nico Steyn. An intercept try in the 79th minute, says Albert, with a conversion to win it 10-8, you reckon? Is that how it's going to stay? Do give us your thoughts in the comments section. Do hit like. Do subscribe, of course, to the channel. We're live for tomorrow's game. The Cheetahs, I'll be taking you through the Cheetahs versus POW. Section ploy. PAU as they're known. When abbreviated, the Cheetahs, of course, at home. But for the moment, the away side, the Lions, battling hard here in France. Battling hard to get themselves upfield. And Nico Steyn, a little bit of deft soccer skills, rolling the ball back to shape for a kick. The chase has got to be better, though. Wonderful hands, it must be said, from George Bridge, the All Black. Tight up against this right-hand touchline. On halfway, working towards centre field now. Come Montpellier in possession. Takuwaka, Masavesi Takuwaka, looking to fend away a couple of tackles, but the Lions managing to come away with the ball now. On the 10-meter mark of Montpellier, is there an opportunity here? Not securing possession, stolen away from Montpellier, and here's their opportunity now. The Lions looking to counter-ruck. Ups and downs, the thrills and the spills here for the moment. But no side stringing together too many phases here in the second half. The Lions with 2 phases. Jaco Fasahi looking to come around the ruck, claiming or thinking the ball was out. The referee most certainly not agreeing with him there. And it's a penalty to Montpellier. Some big hits, but not really any big plays for the moment in terms of opening up the defenses. You want to put together 6, 7 phases. I know the ball is slippery, but in order to break the defense, you want to put together those 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 phases, suck in the defense, and then make magic happen. Apologies there for the moment. The score still at 8-3 to Montpellier. Just a little bit of technical difficulties for the moment. But we're back, folks. Humble apologies. 71 minutes in. The Lions still trail by 3 points to 8 here in France. We're on a line out here. Taken in 8 meters out on this right-hand touchline. Montpellier in possession. Looking to work their way up centre field. Here come Montpellier. 6 meters out now. Right under the posts. Is this the killer blow? The Lions desperate to hold on in defence here. Willemse again, the man to take it up. Resolute defence here, right on the line. The Lions holding on for dear life. Montpellier putting the phases together, looking to strike the final blow in this Challenge Cup game. Putting it 2 scores ahead if they can. Willemse! It had to be! It had to be Paul Willemse. Off the bench, the South African French international, breaking the hearts of the Lions here in France. Taking that ball from the base. And he's been sensational since he's come off the bench. Right from the start of the second half. Bumping away defenders. He was involved early on in that attack. And on the last moment, found himself in a position taking Andries Coetzee with him to the try line. And that, in the words of Albert van Lengen, is the final nail, unfortunately. Well, we say perhaps. It's 13 points to 3. With 6 minutes to play, Garbisi has been awful from the tee. I'm not sure what you're smiling about, brother. But we know the Lions have nothing to smile about. We had hope come half time that something in terms of the winning effort could make it happen for the Lions. But Paul Willemse, ecstatic. And if you're a Montpellier supporter, why shouldn't you be? He's come off the bench and made things happen. Given the side just an extra gear of confidence. And it's all to do now for the Lions, trailing by 10 points. 13-3, Montpellier lead. With just over 5 minutes to play. The Lions have tried all night on defence, but just not able to get themselves in the right positions on attack, the right side of the field. And you've got to do something with the ball in hand. The Lions now looking to make something of it, should I say, via Andries Coetzee. They're going to need to start playing and playing yesterday. Up to halfway go the Lions. It's a loose ball. Working themselves up to halfway. It's a little bit lateral at the moment from the Lions. Shout out to Daniel's Plumbing. Must be the best plumber in South Africa, my brother. Thank you for tuning in. Can you fix the Lions' pipes here, bro? because it's not blowing hot at the moment. It's ice cold. The Lions got to change their geezer here. Montpellier have put their foot in the mud with intent here in the second half, showing and leaving their footprint, their mark on this game, closing it off with a wonderful injection from the bench, from the likes of Paul Willemse. I must have mentioned his name more than anybody else, but it's because of his impact in this game in the second half. The Lions back inside their own half. And Montpellier now in possession. It's all opening up now at the moment. The Lions all out on their feet here in France. It's looking slick from Montpellier. They've got a little bit of a boost. By creating that buffer, they can play a bit. Can the Lions find at least a losing bonus point here? They've got to play with ball in hand, but as I say that, it's been kicked away. Just over 2 minutes to play. Montpellier lead by 13 points to 3. 2 tries to 0 after that early penalty from Jordan Hendrickse, taking the Lions into half-time at 3 points to 0. But it's been all Montpellier in the second half, 13 unanswered points. And here come Montpellier breaking away now, up to the 22 of the Lions. Slight knock on there from Gobisi. It must be said he's had an awful game in terms of kicking for goal. Missing 2 penalties, 2 conversions. Kicked over the single penalty, and that was about in front of the post, 10 meters out. Could have kicked it with his eyes closed. So not a great showing from the fly-half yet. Montpellier managing to create this buffer at 13 points to 3. All but seal a victory here at home. For the time being, the Lions' winning streak has come to an unfortunate temporary end. We say temporary because, as South African supporters, we believe they can pick it up again in their next game. But a wonderful injection of the bench, it must be said. And that's where you kind of felt the pendulum swinging for Montpellier. The likes of Kobus Reiner, of course, starting at 9, giving some wonderful distribution at the base for Montpellier. Not quite linking up well, or his fly-off, should I say. Not doing him any favours. Having an awful showing, as we said, from the tee. But then the likes of another international, Paul Willemse, should I say it, just making those meters, giving that forward momentum to Montpellier. And as a consequence, giving them the opportunity here to be 2 scores ahead. And just as the Lions look to break away, not only do you have to contend with the defense, you have to contend with the slippery ball. Lovely little chip over the top there from Johnny Lombard. Looking for Jordan Hendrickse, but he just couldn't hold on at the final moment. He had a defender to deal with. So not all doom and gloom for the Lions, though. They can hold their head up high, of course, in this adversity away from home. But it's a battle of halves. 3-0 the Lions in the first half and 13-0 Montpellier in the second half. They flipped the game. Montpellier trailing that penalty early on. They're not getting anything for their efforts in the first half. The Lions, though, you kind of feel the defending has worn on them in that second half. Montpellier want to play. Time is up, though. The Lions having to defend again. Montpellier up to this left-hand touchline, 5 meters out. They want to keep playing now. The Lions have ripped the ball clear. They're not giving up hope of a losing bonus point here. They're just going to have to create something out of nothing. Andres Kutsia throwing away one defender, but met sternly by another. So still on the 10-meter mark. And it's a loose ball they're going to have to play from inside their own half now. Everyone kind of looks out on their feet. Is there an opportunity here for the Lions? Surely. Just on the last moment, the ball stripped clear from the defending player. JC Pretorius thought he was in for all money. But that's it, folks. The Lions do not go over, and as a result, don't get a losing bonus point. Montpellier take the spoils here in France at home by 13 points to 3. Nerve-wracking finish there. But from myself, Roots at Forever Rugby and Forever Sports, a disappointing end to the Saturday evening. The Emirates Lions going down to Montpellier by 3 points to 13. Do stay tuned for that game tomorrow. The Cheetahs, of course, at home to PAU. From myself, Roots, bye for now.